big, powerful break from 𝗟𝗩𝗃𝗵. Ball's raining in all over the table.
How well has he timed that? You see, he's just pulled back and crunch. And the ball's just disappeared all to the right-hand side of the table as we look.
I was having a chat with Alex and Russ. They were practicing earlier on. They were playing Scotch doubles. They were just running a few frames off. Both looked to be in pretty good touch. And seemed to have a kind of natural understanding. They weren't having to talk very much, but they seemed to be playing sensible shots and both understood where the other one was trying to end up.
Yeah, as you initially look at the table, you think that red by the right centre is going to be the problem for the two yellows, but I think it's better to play on, be looking after this shot to be playing on a plant and play the middle one of the three balls that are close together as a plant to the yellow at the bottom right.
We'll notice this a lot from Russ. Often doesn't get right down for a shot, but don't be deceived into thinking he's not a good cueist. He's actually an exceptionally good potter, but just got a slightly unconventional style.
Yeah, Alex is just lining up that plant that we talked about, and Russell's just come down enough to give him the perfect angle to just roll this top yellow into the middle. So the key here is on the plant, the cue ball is going to go into the red, and he needs to make sure that the yellow doesn't track to the bottom rail. Otherwise, he'll be on no shot. So he's just got to play this with a nice pace with an element of control. If he's played that, he's just on the back double. I'll let Russell decide if he's played it or not, if he gets the 8-ball.
Yeah, I mean, he probably didn't want to do that, although it was, as you say, he didn't want to lose the second ball, so you had to play it almost as a 2-in-1 shot. You needed the yellow to follow through or stay where it was. It's not the worst outcome because you weren't guaranteed to have perfect shape. I mean, obviously, if you just leave the ball over the pocket, you can get much better on the 8-ball, but I think they'll be okay with this.
Okay, shot. It's there.
Well, that's a statement start from Russ Burgess and Alex Cameron. Also a timely reminder against two clearly very confident opponents. Wow, confidently struck break, and he had balls going in, but unfortunately that cue ball arrowing towards the top left corner.
Yeah, and we see Russell playing the first. Oh, Alex is playing the first singles frame.
Extension.
Initially, be looking at yellows, and the decision he's got to make in this frame is the two yellows closest to either middle. Does he play to develop them out, or just land on a double for each of them? Just having a look, is he on that yellow to the right centre? He's looking like he is. He's playing it to the top corner by the looks of it.
Good effort, never an easy shot that. Red was far enough away from the corner pocket, that wasn't guaranteed.
Yeah, there's a good loss of turn shot that John can play here and plant the red. I think I personally would have gone the other way, because initially I think he's left the yellow to the left centre.
Very often a lot of benefit to covering a pocket. You don't normally see that kind of loss of turn played pretty much immediately in that situation. Tough that. I don't think you could quite see the potting angle, but he didn't get too far away.
Yeah, but what he's done is opened up that pocket.
Coming around, looking at this double. He's just got enough space to make it. Oh, and he's played a good shot there.
He's played a great shot, and as you see, he's not wasting any time. He plays at a really quick pace. Just play this into the top left and run through for the red at the top right.
This is what he was looking for in this frame. Chance to get after these balls in an open position.
That 𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗏. He was in the pocket.
As a result, he's come very close to not being on this ball, but you can see it.
He doesn't want to be straight, otherwise he'll have to play this 8 ball at distance. It's still gettable, but he'd like to be straighter. What a shot.
I've talked about confidence a few times already. That was a confidently struck pot. And a good second frame from John Egan to get scores back level at 1 apiece. Doesn't necessarily have as powerful a break as some of the players, but you know he's going to catch it well.
He did catch that well, and he's been unfortunate to not get a ball.
Did get the 8 ball moving, but never had enough pace to make pocket.
And there's an argument for either colour set here. So is he in the gap to the yellow for the top right? I think he wanted to be on the one to the left, but just overrun it. There we see on the over, he can just get through. Nice, but the cue ball's travelling a little bit. So Sam's got a decision here, because the way he's got to play this yellow, he's got to either force the cue ball to the right hand side off of the table after the shot. But by having to do that, it makes the pot harder.
Taking longer on this shot than on previous ones, you can see. Wants to be absolutely sure what he's leaving.
It's just hung up, and oh, they're just having to check to see if the yellow was stationary. If it was stationary, then it needs to come back up. If it was still moving, then it's a valid shot.
Yeah, that's very marginal, isn't it? Referee 𝗟𝗏𝗘𝗃𝗃 coming to have a second look at that. It wasn't much time. It wasn't one of those ones where it hung over the pocket and was clearly stationary, but there was a momentary pause.
Just getting it up now.
It does make a big difference. That ball over the pocket, you can see where the cue ball's going to be. There's going to be a choice of at least one red in play. Obviously, the decision here is whether to replace the yellow on the table, so...
Looked like it dropped just in time.
Not good.
Yeah, it looked like it dropped. So the referee's just coming back out to the arena.
So the referee confirming the shot was okay. It's one of those ones, it was borderline, but it was too close to call. I think that is the right shout there from the referee. So Sam Betts continues at the table, and he'll be relieved about that. Although a rush of adrenaline there, he's lucky not to find the corner pocket.
It is, but that's one way to get on the yellow. He's going to have a key shot after this, though. And he's perfect.
You can see a confidently struck shot there. It's clearly a good cueist.
These reds play big, though. Can he bite the cue ball enough to draw it out to the right-hand side? Not sure if he can. He may have to let to go between the gap of the reds. And he's bit it, and he's played it brilliantly. And nice kiss on the red, and great position on the 8-ball.
Well, there was a nervous moment in the middle of that frame where a ball hung over the pocket, and he wasn't sure whether he was going to be allowed to continue at the table, but he was. Sandbets gets the job done and opens up a 2-1 lead. So the first frame was Scotch. We've now had one of singles for each team. We're back to a Scotch doubles frame for this fourth frame.
And it's unfortunate dry break, and look at the reds, the way they've opened up. It's just the decision for Russell here is, do they take the tough red down the rail first shot? Elected for yellow, and can only presume the two yellows that are closest together, they both go into the bottom right.
Yeah, if the top one doesn't go, it's very hard to imagine you'd be choosing yellows.
Yeah, because the key shot coming up is after this one. He needs to leave him. Needs to leave Russell the right angle on the yellow to trap back down the table. And I don't know whether for that reason Alex is looking at a double, but he's going to have to just roll this in and leave himself the thing cut to the middle. No, he's not opened up the pocket, I don't believe. And all of a sudden they've got to play a plant on the yellows. He's still got a chance though.
Not landed too bad on this, but it's not a guaranteed plant. There's enough distance. Oh, that's a good shot.
See, Russell, he doesn't really get his chin on the cue at all, but he's so steady the way he plays.
Yeah, he's a deceptively good cueist. He's always been a very good potter. And on the bottom one, got to come out for the second one. So we'll find out now what the situation is at the top of the table. It looked like that red hadn't quite moved far enough to at least leave a full pocket for the yellow top right.
I'm just not sure he's got enough angle to force the cue ball down. It might trap on the rail. He's got to stun it. He's played it, but as you say, it's just not tracked far enough. They're in trouble.
Yeah, that's not a good place to have finished up. Very hard to play a safety, very hard to play a pot. And look at the reds they'd be leaving.
So he's got two choices. Do you double the yellow off the top rail into the left centre, or take the cue ball off the side rail and try and kick the yellow into the left centre?
Neither are high percentage shots, but if he doesn't go for something here, that may well be his last shot in this visit, in this frame even. Oh, it's a good effort. That was a tough shot though.
It's the cue ball. Oh, it's just unfortunate where the yellow's gone. It's sort of, if Sam and John an easy go at the reds with very little pressure on it.
It's always a nice position to be left when the opponent misses their last ball.
The Reds not gone in the best position, but they've got full control, so they can pull back at any point if they wanted.
Well, he wasn't trying to pull back, but that's what's happened. See a wry smile from Russ Burgess here. This is nice to be left a shot, but not the most appealing shot to have been left.
And he's laughing because he knows how hard this is. Not only has he got to pot the yellow, but he's also got to get position on the 8 ball.
He's got to do it in the next 8 seconds because he's used his extension already. You hear the pips count down behind him. Well, in the end, decides the clip's too difficult. Well, that's not the worst leave, although he's going to be in trouble now.
No, and they can't afford to the clock to be running down too much. And John says, get out of this one.
Not the worst hit, but it's very difficult to get a good result from here. Well, it's not far off the double. Is this going to have the legs? No, not quite.
It was a great effort.
So, chance for Sam and John to go 2 clear with, it's going to be a little over 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah, you expect him to get these reds, but the key shot is to get position on the red that's closest to the yellow. I don't believe it goes into the left centre, so they'll have to play position on it to the corner. Is he straight? It must, the way they're pointing the cue, it must go in the left centre. But you don't want distance if it's tight. There we go.
How big a miss could that be in the context of this match? The difference between 3-1 and 2-all. Not easy, this for Alex, but he's got a clip on this ball.
Extension. Go,
Oh, they're going to run out of time. Run out of time.
Oh, that's very costly. You did query at the beginning of the match whether time could be a factor for Russ Burgess. It's been a long time since we've seen a time foul in that kind of situation. And that is going to be the end of the match, you suspect. 2 minutes 30 remaining. It's not mathematically out of contention, but that's a very disappointing moment from Russ.
Yeah, what a silly error.
Do with this 8
Eight
ball, finding the
ball.
pocket.
Oh.
Oh, well, they found a yellow. 2 yellows, in fact, and a red.
Look at the break. Again, he could go either colour set.
He's got to do it quickly is the key thing, because he's got to win this frame and potentially one more. Doesn't want to mess around here. A 2-minute clearance does him nothing. Struggling a bit with the clock management right now, this pairing.
Good shot. It's a good shot, and he needs to speed up now. I expect him to knock these in.
His only chance is to knock these in and leave well north of 30 seconds because their opponents break, so they're going to have to be relying on a dry break. What they don't want to get themselves in the position is where there's not enough time for a clearance, because then the golden duck will be their only way of winning, and that's not exactly high percentage stuff. This is better now. Alex has found the route. He's speeding up.
Yeah, I think he should have played for the middle pocket then, and then taken the bottom yellow to the bottom left and tracked off the top rail for the 8 ball. Still got good position. But he's got to trap it now and just avoid the red that's near the centre. See. And that's rushing the shot. I think he played the wrong shot. 3 from home.
Possibly doesn't make any real difference. They were always going to struggle to get the 3rd frame they needed, even if they got the 2nd. But it's not going to do much for their confidence going into the next match. And now Sam Betts knows that he's got time. There's no real point in rushing this. I know this is basically a fairly easy finish, but he knows that if he just pops a couple of loose balls and runs the clock down, guarantees the win. They'll be relieved to get this win. It wasn't a foregone conclusion, particularly when Burgess and Cameron won that good first frame.
Yeah, it's like doing a lap of honour.
Yeah, there aren't many times in pool where it's like snooker when you've already made a century break and it doesn't matter what happens. You don't get too many of those situations in pool. As the clock counts down, they won't have time to complete this frame, but That's all they need to do. That chime in the background confirms the end of the match. Sam Betts and John Egan go through by 3 frames to 1. It was a match where their opponents had a couple of very good chances, and one better than the one with ball in hand. But that time foul ultimately proving decisive. More to come after this quick break.